Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. I hope you're all doing really well. Today we're going to be going through my 2025 kids gift guide for Christmas. I do these videos every year, and if you want to look back on those then please feel free to. I tend to focus on the age group that my kids are at the time that I filmed them. And so I have ones for 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and now 5-year-olds. However, now that I've got 2 kids, I'm trying to focus on gifts that they can both enjoy, and then also gifts that they can enjoy individually. I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and in this video I thought it would be nice to go through the presents and toys that they play with all of the time. Things that I bought when my son, my eldest, was 1 and he still plays with today when he was 5. Not just the latest new toy of 2025 that everyone is going crazy about and it's going viral, although there is one of those in here, but the toys that have been tried and tested and my kids play with day in, day out, and are definitely really worth the money and are gonna still be played with this time next year, rather than just something they're gonna really love when they open and then kind of disregard after a couple of months. We're trying to look for longevity in these toys, so that is the aim. I'm gonna separate this video into 4 categories. First up, we've got young kids toys, so like 1 and 2-year-olds, and then the second category will be sort of 2, 3, 4-year-olds, I would say. The fourth category will be 5+ year olds, and then the last category would be what I'm getting my kids for Christmas, on top of anything else obviously I've mentioned throughout the video, because a lot of these things I'm kind of like adding to this Christmas because they're firm favourites in our household. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. The first thing in this category is Mega Bloks. My kids love Mega Bloks. My son has had this exact set since he was 1. He turned 1 in 2021 and he still loves these a lot. My daughter plays with them now as well, and they play with them together. They both build big old robots and trains and castles and God knows what else. They're really good for like fine motor skills right at the beginning of their life, and then it's just good for creativity as they get older, as well as learning colours because they're all nicely brightly coloured. And they are incredibly affordable. On Amazon at the moment they're like £5, £8, £10, £12, depending on the size of the set, and they are going to last you a long time. And I feel like this was the gateway for my son to start loving things like Lego and Connects and building things way more advanced now that he's older. But this is where it all started, is Mega Bloks. Next up is a wooden train set. I've got a few pieces here, but I'll do a cutaway of the actual train set that we have. We've got several different sets that just all connect together. It's a really great one that you can sort of build on. You can get a small set, and then at the next birthday you could add more to it, get different trains, different expansion packs. I really love a wooden toy set and then having like cool trains that are like electric trains that go around it. My kids love these. My son got this for his 2nd birthday or Christmas when he was 2, and oh my gosh, we've got so much use out of this. We have built so many different types of railways, different configurations, different bridges, different like mechanisms within it, and now my daughter plays with him as well, so it's really nice to see how it has grown with the family, and it will carry on growing with the family for a really long time. They're so durable and they're such like good quality, obviously because it's literally wood, and you don't have to get the really expensive sets. I feel like on John Lewis they have some really good versions. Lidl, Aldi, all the wooden toy sale kind of companies, Smiths have a good like range of wooden toys as well. I feel like all of those places will have sets that are really affordable and a nice little starter set to get started with. We have loads and they all get used. It's like a competition to see who can build something including every single piece of wooden train track that we have, and it always happens. So yeah, wooden train track is such a good one. Next up, I don't know if you can actually see it at the moment, is the toy kitchen I've got there. It's the IKEA wooden toy kitchen, but actually more specifically, I think even more importantly than the toy kitchen, is wooden accessories for it. So food items like drink items and anything that can go in a kitchen basically. I don't even really feel like you need the kitchen because I feel like a lot of the time we just use that as storage, and the actual fun comes from these toys. Everything here, like this cake and these cups and even this takeaway set that has like wooden fries in there and burgers and pizza slices and stuff. It has all of the stuff in here. All came from Aldi wooden toy sale a year ago. However, I would say that loads of places do wooden toys now. Aldi, Lidl do some really good ones, and in Lidl they probably still have some stuff in there now, and Smiths and even just Amazon do some really good wooden toys as well that are affordable, just as affordable as those other more popular wooden toy sales. And so any kind of accessories that you think your kids would love, like my son particularly loves the takeaway set because he loves, you know, chips and pizza like every 5-year-old does, whereas my daughter really likes the cake set, loves cutting it up and like force feeding me wooden cake constantly, loves pouring me a cup of pretend tea and like making me drink it and stuff. Like honestly, it's hours of fun. And my kids tend to set up a little cafe, like on a little table. They've got a little play table. They set all of the food that they've got in their toy kitchen up on there, and they get me and my husband or just each other to come up and play cafes with all of the stuff. And it's just so great for imaginary play. I just love it. That's definitely the era we're in, is the imaginary play. Like think about the sisters on Bluey. That is how my kids are playing at the moment, and I'm so here for it. And then along the same vein as the role play side of things, but slightly different, is dress up stuff. My kids are loving dress up. I feel like it's probably again because of the role play element of everything. My mum got a few bits and pieces and sets for my daughter for her birthday recently, well, 6 months ago, and they love dressing up, both of them, whether that's, they can be explorers, they can be doctors or dentists, they can be a ballerina or whoever wears a tutu, princesses, whatever, and then they create roles for themselves. And it's just so lovely to see. They just love dressing up and becoming someone else, like being any kind of medical professional with a little hat like this on, going up to each other with stethoscopes and all this kind of stuff. Like honestly, there's just so many sets you can get on there. My mum, like I said, got a load on Amazon, and that we now have a little dress up box that all of this belongs in. And I feel like that is vital. If you've got somewhere to store it, it can become a really nice source of entertainment when they go to the dress up box to like play dress up, rather than it just being like all around the house. Like a specific place for dress up stuff is key. Next, in the slightly older category, I'd say 2, 3, 4-year-olds, but also beyond that definitely. First up, we have Magna-Tiles. I feel like everyone has a set of Magna-Tiles, but you might not be maxing out on their potential. Like I adore these things. They have a few different like names. Some brands are called Playmags. There's Magna-Tiles, which are the most expensive like version of these toys. There's also a brand called Sunny Auntie on Amazon, and it is very, very good, if not better than the actual Magna-Tiles play magnets. I think they're really fantastic. That's the sets that we have. I feel like there's a lot going around on social media about like the dangers of magnets and stuff, and that has always been the case. Any toy with magnets in is something that could cause harm if they are damaged and not good quality and your kid swallows them, like obviously, but just make sure that they're not damaged and they are safe, like absolutely safe. If they're damaged, throw them away. Both of my kids absolutely love building absolutely anything with Magna-Tiles, from houses to zoos to mazes to car ramps. Like you can literally build anything with these, and it's such a good open-ended toy, really good for their imaginations. If they're bored, give them Magna-Tiles. Like this is such a good one. And I will link our favourite sets down below. They are worth the investment, but I would say the Sunny Auntie brand are just as good as the Magna-Tiles brand. I also feel like they go really well with the next one I'm about to mention, which are basically all figures and cars. I think every kid needs a collection of figures, cars, like people, animals, and yeah, like I say, Hot Wheels or whatever kind of cars they're into. I would say it's very easy to go overboard on the figures, and these are all of the figures that we own in this house, other than we've got a load of these action men upstairs in my son's room, but they are my husband's old ones from the 90s, so he's not getting rid of them anytime soon. But a variation of figures is so good for imaginary play, and especially if they're doing like a zoo or whatever, or a farm with the Magna-Tiles, and they can have like a little set of animals just like this. These ones, for example, were on Amazon. I feel like it's really good because it comes in a little case like this, so they're not just like all around the house and you're treading on them. Loads and loads of Hot Wheels cars. They do these in charity shops for like 50p each, but if not, you can get big bundles of them, like 10 or 20 on Amazon again, and they work out cheaper the more you get, basically. And then just things that they're into. If they're into dinosaurs, if they're into dogs, if they're into action men, if they're into Spider-Man or any kind of superhero things, any kind of figures that they are going to be invested in. My son is so into Minecraft at the moment, and basically for Christmas the figures that we're getting him are Minecraft related, and then my daughter is really into Bluey, and so the figures that we're getting her are Bluey related, and so they can just be added to the collection. I am going to do a declutter at some point and get rid of some of the older ones that don't get played with, but yeah, my son and daughter are getting new figures to add to the collection this year, and I know they're going to love them. But my rule is they have to fit in this box. If they don't fit in this box, then we have to get rid of some. Next up is this Leapfrog ice cream cart. There's a lot of versions of this. I like this one personally because it's bright, it's plastic, the kids love it. If it were wooden and a little bit, you know, more aesthetic, potentially I would like it more. But would the kids like it more? I mean, maybe, but this one is interactive, which I do really like. Basically, I'm not going to turn it on, but it can tell you like what ice creams to make. If you add the correct card into it, you kind of pop it in and it tells you what kind of ice cream to make. And then this little scoop here, kind of, I don't know if it's magnetic or what, but it kind of picks up the ice cream and you can place it on to the cone just like that, as well as the sauces. And then there's a little like sauce thing here that you pump, and again it will say, if you press it 3 times, it will say 3 pumps of fudge or whatever. My daughter got it for last Christmas and they play with it daily still. And then these balance stepping stones, I don't really know what they're called. There is a brand that do like the original version of these that are very, very expensive, and definitely don't see why you have to get the expensive versions because these are incredible. These are from Smith's. They have a few versions in there, but they also have a few on Amazon. And basically it's just these like, is it polystyrene? Is that what the kind of foam, it's like a really firm foam kind of material. I'm not entirely sure how to describe that, but they are so good for imaginary play and open-ended play, and they can just be anything. Like my kids have made these into like swimming pools, like fill them with water, and they've made them into swimming pools with their little figures in there, or they've made them as like stepping stones and made like a little obstacle course, played the floor is lava with them. They've even made them into like, if they've been building like a car or something, they've made this into the seat, and then they've been holding a steering wheel, and then one's been a pedal in front, and like it's just materials and things that they're allowed to play with and make things out of, rather than getting like all of my bedding down from my room and dragging it downstairs. They have stuff to like be creative with and use it in their imaginary play, and they use these all the time in that way. And I actually originally got them for my daughter because I thought she needed help with her balance and to like make stepping stones and stuff for her, which she definitely does use them for, but they are so much more than that. And I believe they were like 20 to 30 pounds. And for me, these are one of the best things that we have in our house. And for that price, I just think it's an absolute no-brainer. And then the next thing in this category is the thing that I am sat on, and it is a play sofa. Now, I'm just going to caveat this by they are expensive, but they do loads in a lot of places. If you're looking for a piece of furniture as well as a really amazing toy, then this is what like I would recommend. Basically, it can be anything. It can be a car ramp, like it's got these sort of bits. You can have this, you can just like lean it on the sofa. It can be a car ramp. You can make dens out of it. My kids literally lay the big cushions that I'm sat on now, they lay them down the stairs and then make a landing pad, and they literally go sliding down the stairs. Like, it's such a good, again, open-ended toy, really, really great for imaginary play. And it is big, and you know, if you want your kids to be active in the house, then this is the one that is going to encourage that. But like I say, building dens, like just putting like a little blanket over the top. My son just like sitting in it whilst he's watching the TV, or sitting in it and playing with these figures or something. They just love it so much. And also you can pop it on the floor and have a film night. Normally I'm facing the other way so I can watch the TV, but we lay on this all the time to have a film night, have some popcorn and just chill out together. It's really comfy, cozy. They even sometimes, not that I love it, but they sometimes jump off of the sofa onto this, and it's like a landing pad for whatever kind of activity that they're doing. If they're doing flips, if they're doing this and that. Again, you can make it into a big kind of ramp, you can roll down it and all these kind of things. It's honestly amazing. I will link a couple of versions down below, but it is one of the more expensive things on this list. And then for the next category, the 5+ category, we're switching up a little bit. I have laid everything out behind us here to look at, and I'm just going to run through everything that I think your 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old would absolutely love. Okay, first up is this circuit board. I have just seen it says 8+ on it, but my 5-year-old absolutely loves this. Essentially, it is what it says on the box. It is a circuit board that is completely safe for kids to use, and they can make loads of different circuits and create noise, alarms, songs, lights. There's even a little fan that they can create. There's loads of different things that they can do, and like the lights that they can make are flashing lights, buzzers, like there's a horn that they can make. Like there's so many different things. Like I personally don't understand a lot of this stuff, but my son understands it, and I just feel like it is the most incredible STEM game for any budding electricians out there, but also just to like help them understand the science behind like why a circuit works, like the connections between everything, like the motor, the battery, like everything else. And I just think it is such a good toy. My 5-year-old loves it. It does say 8+, but I feel like if you've got a kid that is into that kind of stuff, this would be a great one. And then I realised that everything else is building related. So if you've got a builder on your hands, then this is going to be for you. Then we have these magnetic blocks. These are very similar to the magnetiles we spoke about in the last category, but these are kind of Minecraft dupes. So if you've got someone that likes Minecraft in the family, then these are going to be a great one. Obviously it's no screens, but it is very, very similar to the game. My son's got all of the different blocks and absolutely loves them. This is for my 5-year-old, like I said, but my daughter loves these as well. Again, anything with magnets in, if they become damaged, could technically be dangerous. But unless they're damaged, they're not dangerous at all. They are completely sealed, and like there's no way of that magnet getting out unless the block is damaged, of course. Again, you can build loads of different things, houses. My son has built lakes and waterfalls and temples, volcanoes with the lava and stuff. Like there's loads of different options in there. If you've got a builder, I feel like these will go really nicely with the magnetiles if you build like houses, and then more natural kind of stuff with this, like I said, mountains and lakes and rivers and things like that. And then more buildings like houses and things with the magnetiles, they could work really nicely as a gift. I love these. Next up is Connects. I don't know if you remember Connects from when you were younger. I remember them, and remembering they were way too complicated for me, but my 5-year-old loves them. This is something that he made recently with his Connects set that we got for him on Vinted for £5, even though this would retail, this box of Connects would retail at like £30. We got it on Vinted for £5, and for Christmas this year we are getting him an even bigger set. This set is going to my mum's, like his nan's, so when he stays over there he's got something nice, cool and fun to play with. And then we're getting him a large, like basically a similar box to this but full to the brim of loads of different Connects. So this one, for example, that he made is a catapult. He has basically used all of these tiny little cogs and pieces, connected them together to make something that is actually cool, functional, like looks pretty epic, to be honest. I'm just going to show you the Minecraft block, pop it into that, and then flip. The catapult works. Honestly, he was so proud of this, and it took him ages, and he sat and he did it, and he had the concentration to do it. And so for my son, this was a fantastic one. But I feel like for a 5-year-old, this is pretty advanced. Like, I think it does say ages 5 to 10. So I feel like if you've got someone that likes building and creating things, then this would be a great gift. And then along the same vein as Connects, we have Lego, of course. Lego is a classic. My son absolutely loves Lego. And although I wasn't going to suggest this set specifically because this is Minecraft related, any Lego set at all would be amazing. If your kids are beginning in Lego, then they have a great starter kit. They also have creator kits. They have so many different starter kind of kits that you can get for them, which I would definitely recommend at the beginning. Or they have 3-in-1 kind of sets, which are really good for beginners who can start to build something. And they have basically sets that you can create 3 different things with. So my son's got one, for example, that was like 7-8 quid, really affordable, that can either be a cat, a fish, or a bird, and you can build one of them and then dismantle it and build the other one. It's got the instructions, and you just have to make sure that your Lego is appropriate for the age. So my son started at 4+ Lego. He's now on sort of 5+, 6+, sometimes the 7+ stuff, and then the older things he needs a little bit of help with, but he still gives it a good go. Like, he loves Lego. I have recently discovered Brick Borrow as a company, and that is actually where we got this set from, because this set would have retailed at like £45 on its own, which, if I'm honest, I probably wouldn't pay. Whereas Brick Borrow basically is a company that you can borrow Lego sets from. So you borrow the set and then you build the set, keep it for as long as you like, and then when you're ready to get a new set, you send that one back, and then they send you a new one, and you can choose the new one. You can get unlimited borrow, so you can literally, technically, build a set every week and then send one back and then get a brand new set every week. Like, that would be my son's absolute dream. So I am thinking about getting him a couple of months of a subscription for this, so that we could just go through loads of Lego. It would be really fun for him, and they start at like £9.99, which I think is really affordable for Lego again, because that set alone would have been £45, whereas on the subscription, obviously I've only paid £10 or £15 for a month subscription. I send that back and I can get a brand new one. Any Lego set that they have on there, which is like 750 sets plus. There's so many, so I feel like this is such a good idea, and then your house doesn't get clogged up with Lego on display. And then finally is a den building kit. My son's had this since he was 3 and they love it so much. Basically, this one is from The Works. It is £10, which is incredibly affordable. It's very sturdy, it builds a really good den, and basically it's got the sticks, it's got these balls with holes in, and then you just connect the sticks and the balls. You basically connect them all and build a big old den and chuck a sheet over, and it is a really nice little cozy thing to do on a rainy day. But then also in the summer, it's nice to just be out in the garden building something like this. Honestly, 10 out of 10. For £10, it's such a good buy. I'm actually tempted again, maybe this Christmas or in the summer, to get another set of this for £10 so we can make even bigger sets. And then for the last category, what I'm getting for my kids, I feel like I've mentioned a few things here and there throughout the video already, but the big things that I am getting them that I haven't shown you, one of which I think is a great buy and I think will be on this list next year if my kids absolutely love it, which I think they will, and one of which is something that my son has asked for repeatedly for the last 2 years, and I've been like, no, waste of money, absolutely not, and now I'm finally caving. However, I have got it secondhand, so it is a lot more affordable than the actual version he wanted. The first one I've got, which is the kids' main joint present together, is air tubes. This is essentially a series of different tubes that you can configure in any way you like, and then you've got the fan motor thing here and loads of foam balls. And so basically you, like I say, configure it however you like, pop the balls in, turn the motor up and the fan goes, and you watch the balls go in whichever direction you've kind of pointed them in. It looks so good, and I know my kids are going to absolutely love this. It does retail at £140, but in the Black Friday sales it is down to £100, which is why I got it. I had my eyes on a second-hand version of this for £80 on Vinted, but it went really quickly, and I figured that if it's actually £100 in the sale right now, I would go for it. I did have a few other things in mind for Christmas for the kids, but I've gone for this instead. I've gone for like a quality big present rather than lots of little rubbish presents basically, which I hope is gonna go down really, really well. I know they're gonna love this. I will link the discounted one down below. The other joint present I've got my kids is the one that my son has wanted for a long, long time, and it is a ride-on car. It's basically an orange Jeep. Firstly, George's favourite colour is orange. Secondly, it has 2 seats, and so there's not going to be any arguments, hopefully, about who's sitting in the car, because they can both sit in the car. Thirdly, I got it secondhand on Facebook Marketplace and only paid £50 for it, and so it is a bargain for what it is. In the sale at the moment, this exact car is £250, and then I've got this one secondhand for 50. So I was like, you know what? It will go down so well, and there's a few places that we can drive it, like where we are now, and then when we move house, there's also a big old field that we can drive it around, and it works on grass. Like one of my friends actually has it and sent me a video of her kids like driving around in the rain in this Jeep on this field, and it just looked like so much fun. And I thought, well, he's a little 5-year-old, like he's quite short, and so he will fit into this, but it won't be for much longer, if I'm totally honest. So when he grows out of it, I can just then resell it for 50 quid. No harm done. The other things that I'm getting for the kids are the figures, like I said, some Minecraft figures for my son and some Bluey figures for my daughter. I'm getting George some extra Connects. This one's going to my mum's house and he's getting a bigger set for home. I've also asked a family member to get the kids some play silks and some den clips. So I've obviously got the den building kit, and I thought the play silks would be a really good thing to like throw over the den once we've made it, but they could also go in the dress up box and be capes and be kind of scarves and thrown around. They could be like carriers for babies and things. My daughter does love a lot of babies as well. They're all in her room and she doesn't play with them as much, but I feel like that is probably just because of the location of them. She does love a baby and a teddy, so she would love to have one like in a baby carrier, which you could make with the play silks. Basically, play silks are like long pieces of fabric and material, and I just figured that they're very versatile and can be used in a lot of different ways in imaginary play, which they do a lot of. My mother-in-law is getting Hallie a scooter, which is the same scooter that George has, but just in a different colour, and a helmet as well. And then she's getting George an interactive globe, so the Leapfrog globe. He loves different countries and stuff. He's got a map in his room, but he hasn't got a globe, and he would absolutely love going around all the different countries. It tells you about the population, it tells you, we're actually reading a book at the moment from the library about basically geography, and it's like a kid-friendly version of geography, and he loves it. So yeah, the globe is going to go down really well, and that's something he can have in his room. And then just a couple of other little bits, like a watch for my son, umbrellas in Minecraft and Bluey, and then night lights as well. And that's pretty much everything they're getting for Christmas. I feel like, honestly, if I could get rid of every single other toy in this house and just keep the things I've mentioned in this video, my kids would probably not even notice that any of their other toys are gone. These are absolutely their favourite things, the things that get played with day in, day out, and are really good bang for your buck because the longevity of them is amazing. The only other thing I should probably mention is the trampoline. Best thing that we ever bought was that trampoline. They burn so much energy on that, even in the winter, even when it's raining, they go on there and they absolutely love it. So if you've got space for a trampoline, the one that is like 120 quid or whatever from Argos, 10 out of 10, love it. And that is absolutely everything on my kids gift guide for 2025. I hope you got a couple of bits of inspiration from this. I really hope the Christmas shopping isn't stressing you out too much this year. I know we all want that gift that our kids open and they are absolutely amazed by. But ultimately, as long as they have something that they're going to play with for a really long time, that's the real gift, is the play, the imagination, the memories that those things are going to allow them to create. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this one, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.